people who think the left has gone a little mad with trans issues. Some have expressed that opinion with literary sophistication, like J.K. Rowling. Some by getting big laughs, like Dave Chappelle. And some are downright ugly about it, like Linehan. But ugly is the price of a freedom so great as speech. Get this, Saudi Arabia is having a comedy festival this month. Really, Saudi Arabia. It's gonna be great. If you on stage, you get 72 virgins. And Chappelle is performing. If you told me years ago that Saudi Arabia would be cool to have Dave Chappelle speak and England might arrest him, I would have said, what are you?
Attacks on J.K. Rowling and free speech aren't slowing down. They're getting louder. In recent weeks, critics have come at her harder than ever. But Bill Maher stepped in and dismantled their arguments with sharp logic and cutting humor. So hit subscribe and let's get into it.
Witch hunters now were coming from Twitter, the Ivy League, and the progressive left. J.K. Rowling used to be a villain to the right because she wrote books about witchcraft. Now she's a villain to the left because she has the crazy belief that there's more to being a woman than pronouns and lipstick. So that was the point of the evening. How do we take a stand against?
Maher explains that the attacks on J.K. Rowling are surging because she refuses to back down. She still openly says biological sex matters, especially in women's sports and spaces, and that's now treated as unacceptable. Activists are pushing harder, hoping outrage will finally silence her. Maher, instead, praises her courage, calling her one of the few public figures willing to take the abuse and stand her ground.
There's plenty of non-crazy people, liberal people, who think the left has gone a little mad with trans issues. Some have expressed that opinion with literary sophistication, like J.K. Rowling. Some by getting big laughs, like Dave Chappelle. And some are downright ugly about it, like Linehan. But ugly is the price of a freedom so great as speech. Trump tried to disappear someone for writing an anti-Israel op-ed in a student newspaper, which I found offensive, but I still would go to the mat for that person to be able to print it. And we can fight Trump on this because we have a First Amendment.
Maher argues that too many people have lost careers and reputations simply for expressing unpopular opinions. He warns this culture of public shaming is dangerous for any society. Free speech only matters, he says, when it protects uncomfortable and dissenting views, not just safe ones. If speech is illegal, the law should handle it, not online mobs driven by outrage.
Individuals and organizations who others have tried to silence and who answered, "That's not a rule." Our first award goes to the president of my alma mater, Cornell University, Martha Pollack. This month, students there demanded trigger warnings before all the lectures in case any of the adult subjects you specifically went to college to learn about came up. And Martha said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. She didn't cave in or hire a new dean of sensitivity. She just said, no, college is for introducing you to new ideas, not for kissing your ass and making you feel wonderful. And
Maher also backed a Cornell lecturer who refused to censor speech to protect student feelings. The lecturer argued that discomfort isn't harm and that college is meant to challenge ideas, not shield people from them. Outrage followed, but Maher praised him for standing firm, saying it exposes a campus culture that values offense over free expression.
Joe's, who for years have been selling a line of ethnically themed products, trading on the name Joe. For example, they have Trader Jose's beer. So, of course, one teenager on Twitter heard the word Jose and said it was racist, and then there was a petition, and then Trader Joe's management did the right thing. They burnt down all their stores. No, they didn't. They said, F you oversensitive little shit.
Maher says cancel culture is now targeting entire companies, but its power is slipping. Brands used to panic, apologize, and cave instantly. Now more are refusing to bend, realizing that giving in only invites more attacks. As companies grow a backbone, the outrage machine is losing its grip.
Germany, a guy called a politician a Pimmel, which is the German word for and it triggered a police raid. What a Pimmel move. A guy from North Yorkshire in Britain faced 2 years in prison for wearing a Halloween costume depicting the terrorist who bombed the Ariana Grande concert. Bad taste? Yeah, bad taste is the whole point of Halloween.
Maher warns that while America debates free speech, much of the world has already lost it. In many countries, saying the wrong thing can lead to fines, arrest, or worse. Journalists are silenced, citizens self-censor, and dissent is punished. His point is clear. Free speech is rare, fragile, and once it's gone, it's incredibly hard to get back.
A Scottish man was found guilty of hate speech for a YouTube video where he taught his pug to salute when he said Sieg Heil.
Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil.
Elon Musk watched it and said, I don't see it. But, you know, Musk, Kanye, this dog, they're all wrong and they all have the right to be.
Maher says people have the right to be wrong and the right to say things others dislike. Disagreement isn't violence, and offense isn't oppression. But outrage culture treats them as the same. He warns that when groups try to control language and silence opposing views, free speech dies. A free society, he argues, requires tolerance for ideas we don't like, not enforced conformity.
Now considering the so-called pub law. Okay, it's not just about pubs. It's a workplace bill aimed at preventing any kind of harassment in the workplace, including verbal remarks overheard. Okay, problem is a pub is a workplace, so is a bookstore. Would a major chain like Waterstones risk hosting a book signing by a controversial author like J.K. Rowling? And pubs? People go to pubs for two reasons, to drink and to exercise their inalienable right to talk.
Maher argues that silencing people doesn't change their beliefs, it just drives them underground. Suppression builds resentment, not understanding. Free speech, even when messy, is society's safest pressure valve.
In the House of Lords, they're in a bar called the Drunken Cock. Any Brit will tell you the food is awful, the weather's but at least you can call each other a cunt. And now that's gone? It's like making a rule at the dog park, no ass sniffing.
Maher argues Britain should stop aggressively policing speech because suppression doesn't eliminate dangerous ideas, it hides them. Open expression, he says, acts as an early warning system, revealing grievances and threats before they turn into real-world problems. Silencing people only leaves authorities blind until damage is done.
Yes, Saudi Arabia is having a comedy festival this month. Really, Saudi Arabia. It's gonna be great if you on stage, you get 72 virgins. And Chappelle is performing. If you told me years ago that Saudi Arabia would be cool to have Dave Chappelle speak and England might arrest him, I would have said, what are you smoking?
Maher argues Britain should stop aggressively policing speech because suppression doesn't eliminate dangerous ideas, it hides them. Open expression, he says, acts as an early warning system, revealing grievances and threats before they turn into real-world problems. Silencing people only leaves authorities blind until damage is done.